Salamat sizbe, Zdrastye, Salam alaikum, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, ministers, esteemed guests, it is a great honor for me to open the plenary session of the 16th Eurasian Energy Forum, Kazakhstan Energy Week, and to be doing so in the presence of a collection of such esteemed guests and in the presence of the Prime Minister. So let's all give a warm welcome to Prime Minister Oljas by Uli Biktianov. Prime Minister, please. One moment. Welcome. This is not my first time at this forum. For me, Kazakhstan Energy Week is a special event where I have had the privilege to learn and make many new friends. And this is also, of course, the place where I was introduced to Beshparmak. This year's forum has gotten off to an extraordinary start. Yesterday, we had a robust discussion about artificial intelligence, which the country is now deploying at scale, and about atomic power, an area where Kazakhstan is making bold moves, planning not just one, but 3 power stations. But this year is extraordinarily special because this year also marks the 20th anniversary of Kaz Energy. 20 years is just about how long it takes for a child, for example, a youngest son, to transform into an adult so that they can stand on their own 2 feet, move out of Karashanrakh, start a family, and build their own partnerships. Or at least we hope that that can be done in 20 years. Some kids take a little longer, some people don't want their kids to move out, it's controversial, and that's okay. But that's exactly what Kaz Energy has done. It has grown this forum for a place where Kazakh issues are discussed, like how much crude oil Kazakhstan can produce for other countries to refine, to a true convener of international alliances where issues far beyond this vast land's borders are discussed. And we saw that yesterday with the leadership of Central Asia's biggest energy companies, including Uzbekneftegaz, SOCAR, Turkish Petroleum, and of course, Kazmunaygaz, as well as all of the major players in global energy markets like Chevron, Exxon, Eni, Shell, and CNPC. And today, we will hear from organizations like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and OPEC+, which Kazakhstan joined in 2016 to stabilize energy prices, not just for itself, but for all energy and oil-producing countries and consumers. Kazakhstan is also building partnerships with new entities, like the International Energy Forum and the League of Arab States and the International Renewable Energy Agency, all of which you will hear from today. The evidence is more than abundant. Kazakhstan and Kaz Energy, as Kazakhstan's enabler, has become a middle power. So let's get this forum and this plenary started. Please join me in welcoming the Prime Minister up on stage. Prime Minister, the floor is yours.
Құрметті форумға қатысушылар, ханымдар мен мырзалар, баршаңызды қонақжай Қазақстан жерінде елорда төрінде көргеніме қуаныштымын. Дүниежүзілік энергетика апталығы аясында өтіп отырған дәстүрлі форум жаһандық.
Distinguished participants of the forum, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to welcome you to the welcoming hospitable land of Kazakhstan, the traditional forum under the Kazakhstan Energy Week has become a unique platform to discuss the issues of global energy safety. The President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, attains special attention to the development of mutual international links in the energy sector. In this regard, the head of the state sent a special address to the participants and guests of the forum. Let me read the address of the President. Distinguished participants, I congratulate you all with the 20th anniversary of Association Kazenergy and with the opening of Kazakhstan Energy Week 2025 Forum. This is a representative forum of experts and qualified specialists that discusses the key issues of the energy sector. Today, the new historical stage was started. The deep changes also tackle upon the energy sector, strengthening the global challenges, growth of crises in the international relations, breaking the international logistics links makes the situation globally quite complex. In this hard period, the search for the new collaboration is the common task for all of us. The development of strategically important areas like economics, science and research and education, innovations and new technologies directly depend on the sources of energy. Therefore, we implement large-scale projects to strengthen the energy safety and security of our country. And this important process is very significantly contributed by the international partners. Kazakhstan gives high importance to attracting investments in the energy sector and enhancing its competitiveness. In this regard, our country, as a responsible middle power, is interested in strengthening links with the reputable international institutions like UN, SCO, IAEA, OPEC, and our joint work for the bright future. I'm sure that under this forum, the new ideas will be proposed and creative initiatives will be offered that will open the path to the further development of this sector. I wish you fruitful work and big success. The President of Kazakhstan, Mr. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. Distinguished friends, President Tokayev has already mentioned that Kazakhstan energy sector put forward the objective of operating in this sector, and myself, together with the Kazenergy and Kazenergy Forum that operates for about 16 years and has become an important and productive platform. In this year of jubilee of 20th anniversary of the forum, we now have the countries of Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the League of Arab States. This is specifically relevant in the background of a deep transformation of the energy order and growing role of middle powers. Kazakhstan is committed to the principles of openness and technological innovations. As the head of the state mentioned, our strategy is aimed at enhancing attractiveness of the country for foreign direct investments. We are inviting business to joint operations for the sustainable energy future. For our projects to be successful in the country, we have everything necessary, including rich natural resources and strategic minerals, actively developing transport and logistics corridors that are the key routes between Europe and Asia, and also qualified staff. Oil and gas sector in Kazakhstan today is a high-tech cluster with a focus to transition from export-based model to the comprehensive system. The future of Kazakhstan in the technological process, and we already have some good results. In the oil and gas petrochemistry, we have already launched the polypropylene production plant with 500,000 ton capacity. We are also implementing the polyethylene project for 1.25 million ton capacity that will make Kazakhstan the biggest producer of polymers in Central Asia, and also projects for production of butadiene and carbamide. Before 2030, we plan to implement 6 projects with a total cost above 15 billion US dollars that will allow increasing volumes of petrogas chemistry and create dozens of thousands of new jobs. We are expanding processing and refinery in the oil and gas sector. Shymkent refinery increased its capacity to 12 million tons. In gas processing, we're implementing key projects such as gas plant in Zhanaozen, gas processing system at Kashagan, and gas separation system at Tengiz. These capacities will create a foundation for high added value products. The second pipeline of Beinia-Bozo-Shymkent will enhance the gasification of the regions and will create new opportunities for the industrial development. Together with international partners such as Total Energies, Masdar, Energy China, and China Power, we are implementing the renewables projects with total capacity above 4 gigawatt. Together with Green Agenda, we are developing traditional energy, including coal. We are launching the construction of 3 joint coal-based CHPs with a total capacity 1 gigawatt. We are also oriented at refinery. Today, we are refining about 18 million tons of oil per year. According to the 2040 concept, the capacity will be increased to 39 million tons, and the depth of refining will reach 94%. At the same time, I would like to note that Kazakhstan remains committed to its obligations under OPEC Plus agreement and will take all necessary measures contributing to the stabilization of the global oil market. I would like to specifically dwell upon the digital agenda that became a need, and I believe it's our advantage in the region. In the energy sector, the role of artificial intelligence is vast. This includes new methods of geologic exploration, optimization of production, transportation, and refining. In the oil and gas sector, we operate platforms like OilTrack to track movements of petrol products, digital contract to automate subsoil use, and control and transparency is ensured by the digital distribution of oil and fuel. We are accelerating our technological renovation of the sector. Methods of enhancing the oil recovery, digitalization of the exploration and production processes, use of artificial intelligence for the analysis of data will help increasing the recovery and production not only at the existing deposits but also disclose the capacity of the small and medium ones. Specially established Ministry of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Development reflects our orientation at innovations and will accelerate integration of digital solutions. At the same time, growing energy needs will require more generation of high volumes of electricity. In this regard, special attention is paid to rare earth metals and uranium, where Kazakhstan is prepared to remain a reliable partner for the world. The construction of a nuclear power plant is a strategic step to clean energy and independence. Dear friends, to complete, I would like to stress again that Kazakhstan remains your reliable and predictable partner. The government is open for collaboration to create joint high-tech productions, industries with partnering countries, international institutions, and businesses. I'm sure that the expert community during this forum will find the most optimal and mutually beneficial solutions aimed at interests of energy safety and global progress. I wish all the participants informative discussions, successful meetings, and fruitful work. Thank you.
Opening remarks. Let me now give the floor to OPEC Secretary General Haitham Al-Ghais. Secretary General, the floor is yours, please.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency, Honorable Prime Minister, Excellency, Minister of Energy, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, what a great honor for me and OPEC to be back here in Astana once more. As you all know, and as elaborated very eloquently by His Excellency the Prime Minister in his words, Kazakhstan is a key participant in the historic declaration of cooperation between OPEC and non-OPEC producers since it was founded actually back in the end of 2016. In this regard, I would like to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency Qasim Jomart Tokayev, the Honorable President of Kazakhstan, His Excellency Oljaz Bektenov, the Honorable Prime Minister, and His Excellency Yerlan Akingenov, I beg your pardon, Minister of Energy of Kazakhstan, for your ongoing support and your clear words that leave no doubt in the minds of anybody, hopefully, about Kazakhstan's position regarding OPEC Plus and the continued collaboration with OPEC Plus. Thank you very much, Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I had the pleasure to visit Kazakhstan in 2024 for the first time, and again earlier this year. In my meetings with Honorable Prime Minister Bektenov and with Minister Akingenov, we discussed the pivotal role of OPEC and its member countries, and as well as the role of the non-OPEC producers, including Kazakhstan, in the Declaration of Cooperation, and the role that these countries, 22 countries, have put in together since 2016 to contribute to the stability of the energy markets globally, and particularly oil markets, overcoming some of the most difficult challenges in history through what is called the Declaration of Cooperation, widely known to everyone as the OPEC Plus agreement. But what was evident in all my meetings and these discussions was one clear thing: the unity and the resolve of all the participants in OPEC Plus is what allowed us to take decisions to focus on market stability that not only serve the benefit of us as producers, including Kazakhstan, but also consumers around the world and ultimately the broader global economy. This, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, was particularly evident at the onset of COVID-19 during the pandemic, when the OPEC Plus production adjustments decisions literally pulled back the industry from the abyss. Those decisions enabled the industry to recover in subsequent years with multiplier benefits for economies across the whole world. Your Excellencies, this year was a very memorable year for OPEC. On September 14th, OPEC celebrated its 65th anniversary. And next year in December, inshallah, we will see the Declaration of Cooperation, OPEC Plus, reach its 10th anniversary. Both are momentous landmarks for us, and they underscore just how important OPEC and OPEC Plus have been to the global oil and economic landscape. And I have no doubt in my mind that they will also be vital for many decades to come. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, for some, it might appear that the decisions of OPEC and OPEC Plus, the decisions that we take, are aimed solely at the short term. But this is not the case. We do look at all time frames and well into the future ahead, and I will explain more. We want to ensure that we have a platform for future growth, for future investments, and for future oil production. I cannot underscore how important this is. Year after year, the world continues to consume more oil. In fact, last year, consumption of gas, coal, oil, renewables, all reached record levels. The world needs more from all energies, ladies and gentlemen. Given that we see global population rising to close to 10 billion by the year 2050, the global economy is expected to more than double in size in the same time period, and with the development of new energy-intensive industries such as artificial intelligence and data centers, as well as the rapid global urbanization. And this last point I would like to put into more context, since we are in Astana today. This urbanization drive that we talk about will require the addition of approximately 300, and I underline 360 cities the size of Astana, from now to 2030 alone. That is less than 5 years from today, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, what this means is our future needs to be one where we definitely have to reduce emissions. We need to work and collaborate on this front together, but it also needs to be a future that delivers clearly on energy security, energy affordability, and availability for all. We need to remember that the billions of people around the world who still lack access to basic, modern access to energy. The international community needs to ensure that all these people have at least the energy basics that so many of us take for granted, such as turning on a light, cooking on a clean stove, or having motorized transport to go to school or to go to work. The future is one that requires huge investments in all energy sources, and I underline the word all energy sources. In our World Oil Outlook 2025, OPEC's research flagship, we see the oil sector alone requiring investments of around $18.2 trillion from now to 2050. That's close to $700 billion per year, and that's for the upstream, downstream, and midstream industries. So for those who unfortunately still believe that the world does not need investment or new investment in oil and gas projects, I have a very simple 3-word response. You are wrong. There is no doubt, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that the world has an abundance of oil and gas resources, and it is clear that Kazakhstan has the resources and the potential to play a vital role in our oil and energy futures with huge fields and reserves such as Tengiz and Kashagan. Kazakhstan has proven oil reserves of around 30 billion barrels, close to 2% of global reserves. Moreover, it has significant gas resources, and it's well positioned as a regional energy hub. Your Excellency, Prime Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, future energy pathways must be driven by realism and pragmatism. At OPEC, we continue to advocate for an all energies, all technologies, and all people's approach. An approach where no energy source is left behind and no one and nothing is dismissed. And with pathways that are holistic, inclusive, fair, and equitable, and in accordance with the core UNFCCC principle of common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities. What is clear is that oil remains vital to our future, just as it has been to our past. It's easy to understand why. Imagine a world where petroleum and petroleum-derived products did not exist. It would be one where transportation would come to a halt, food production would be devastated, health services would be broken, where economic growth would definitely go into reverse. Simply unimaginable. Oil is vital to economies and countries all around the world, including here in Kazakhstan. Only last month, His Excellency President Tokayev, in marking Oil and Gas Workers' Day, underscored the rich traditions of the oil industry in Kazakhstan, its importance to the country's growth and development, and he paid tribute to the more than 200,000 people who work currently in the oil and gas sector in this country. Without Excellency, Mr. Prime Minister, Excellencies, distinguished guests, allow me to conclude by once again saying what a great honor and privilege it is for me to be here at Kazakhstan Energy Week for my first time, and it definitely will not be the last, inshallah. I wish the government of Kazakhstan, the organizers, delegates, every success. Thank you very much.
Secretary General, not so fast. we can't have you having traveled so far to not answer just one question. I wanted to briefly, first of all, congratulate you on the 65th anniversary of OPEC and the upcoming, not to jinx anything, but the upcoming 10th anniversary of OPEC Plus. Congratulations there. I wanted to return to the comment you made about investment in the oil industry, because we have definitely heard a change in the conversation globally. Were you surprised by the comments from the International Energy Agency last month about the need for investment in the oil industry? Sort of a U-turn, really.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for the question. It's a very pertinent point. And let me say, I was not surprised, because this is not the first time I've seen a U-turn from the IEA, honestly. I think since you mentioned the IEA, I'd like to go here in front of the audience and mention that the IEA has, in 2017 and 18, said that investments in oil and gas are the cornerstone, and I'm quoting here, the cornerstone of global energy security. In 2017 and 18, not too far back. And 2020, 21, the tide shifted to another course with the net zero scenario and all the net zero projections, basically highlighting that there would be no requirements for investments in new oil and gas. And now, yes, as you rightly said, we saw a report in the last couple of weeks where the IEA stated that there would be requirements for upstream investments in oil and gas of around 540, if I'm not mistaken, over 500 billion per year, which is not too far away from the numbers that OPEC has been saying for the past many years. We have been saying this for many years, that the industry requires investments because this is an industry where there's a long lead time. You cannot simply turn off the tap and turn on the tap, as simplistic as that. Investments need to be clear. There needs to be a clear signal, indicators to investors, to planners, to governments, to policymakers. And the world is simply consuming more and more oil every year. And we should not conflate issues of requiring energy security through oil and other sources, including renewables, gas, coal, as we saw in the presentation and the speech of the Honorable Prime Minister, where Kazakhstan is adding atomic, coal, all sources of energy. The world is growing at a huge rate, 23% more energy demand from now to 2050. That definitely means that we will require all sources of energy. And therefore, we need to invest today to be ready for tomorrow. And let us remember that for the oil industry, and I'm sure there are many experts here who know this much better than I do, that for us to be able to keep global production levels at their current rates today, we have to invest already today, let alone to cater for future oil demand, where in OPEC we see oil demand by 2050 reaching 123 million barrels a day from its current levels. So the point I would like to say is, I'm not surprised, having seen previous U-turns, but we welcome the IEA's message. I think that's a step in the right direction. And definitely what we need to say and encourage in the industry is definitely 3 key words. It's not the same words I mentioned earlier on. It is invest, invest, invest.
Secretary General, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please. It is now my honor to invite up onto stage Kazakhstan's Minister of Energy, Yerlan Akhezhenov. Please.
Құрметті Олжас Абайұлы, құрметті
Distinguished Your Excellency, Prime Minister, distinguished guests, distinguished partners, distinguished friends, welcome to KazEnergy Forum. And we have this plenary session, which is being organized within the framework of this Kazakhstan Energy Week. We would like to extend you our gratitude on behalf of the Ministry of Energy for your participation in this session. The main topic of the forum is the formation of the new energy order and the role of middle powers. This is the relevant topic which is on the agenda of all the countries and states. And there is a need to ensure the energy balance for middle powers, as it is very important for the development of the cooperation. The representatives of different states and organizations are here today attending this forum, and I hope that there will be many ideas mentioned during these days. And to become an important part of the global energy system, we have everything needed: vast natural resources, gas, coal, oil and gas, and renewables, and also the favorable investment climate that was proven and tested during a long period of time, which is required for these resources. International cooperation is also important. Kazakhstan is active as part of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, where at our initiative we formed the strategic energy agenda up to 2030. This creates opportunities for the implementation of trans-border projects, exchange of technologies, and attraction of investments into energy sector. We also closely interact with OPEC, with International Renewable Energy Sources Agency, IRENA. We also participate in the work of the World Energy Forum. We also participate in the Organization of Turkic States. We also cooperate with the relevant commissions of the UN and other reputable organizations. Thanks to this, Kazakhstan shapes multi-vector sustainable energy policy based on the international cooperation that enables the enhancement of energy security and attraction of new investment. In our country, over the last 3 decades, we have huge companies that were successful in their operation, that never stopped their investment projects despite all circumstances. And this will only increase during the upcoming future. The hydrocarbon potential of Kazakhstan is really colossal. In order to attract investments into exploration and in order to master all these resources, Kazakhstan will attract investors via a new mechanism, via the use of the new improved model contract that envisages significant fiscal preferences and other preferences. We have already signed contracts for the amount of more than $9 billion using those model contracts. You know also that currently we are aimed at creation of the projects with the deep refinery and thorough refinery of hydrocarbons as part of the energy sector development policy. We are starting to expand the capacity of our 3 refineries. It's also important to modernize infrastructure. The growing share of renewables requires the development of grids and the energy storage system, and also the use of other tools in order to ensure the effective operation of this system. Kazakhstan uses the strategy of reliable hydrocarbon supply with the incremental low carbon model. Kazakhstan did a lot in order to increase renewables into the overall energy mix. We have 158 renewables facilities with the total installed capacity of 3.25 gigawatts. The ministry adopted a plan for the development of power sector up until 2035 that envisages the commissioning of about 26 gigawatts of new capacities. And renewables also are included in this amount. Electric power is also very important for us, and also implementation of AI and digital solutions is also very important for us, as these are the key drivers of modernization. And also it's important to ensure the energy efficiency and energy saving. We started the large scale or the gradual modernization of coal-based power plants, the carbon capture and use technologies, and also the technologies for purification technologies will help to clean the coal-based generation, and we plan to modernize the majority of those capacities. We also understand the current challenges, the fluctuation of the global energy prices, the need for the accelerated modernization of the grid infrastructure, as well as the importance and significance of maintaining predictable regulation mechanism for investors. Therefore, Kazakhstan continues to modernize its legal framework, and we continue to implement also green projects. Distinguished participants of the forum, we have a unique opportunity today to discuss key issues of energy future. I believe that your ideas and proposals will be implemented in practice and will help us to together form the energy of new generation, the power sector that will serve for the well-being and prosperity of the whole world.
To work hand in hand with our partners to ensure secure, sustainable, and inclusive energy future. By combining innovations, investment, and international cooperations, we can turn today's challenges into opportunities for growth and progress. I would like to thank all participants for your commitments and valuable contribution for joining today's forum. I wish all of you successful work, fruitful discussions, and new partnerships. Thank you for your attention. Nazarlarınızga rahmet.
And we thank you, Minister, for your remarks. Thank you very much. We appreciate them. Allow me to invite up onto the stage the Director General of the International Renewable Energy Agency, Francesco La Camera, please.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, buongiorno, good morning everyone. We are at a defining moment in global energy. The shift to a low-carbon economy, changing geopolitics, and the diversification of supply chain are collectively reshaping the energy order. In this evolving context, middle power, such as Kazakhstan, are moving to the center of the stage. Kazakhstan is emerging as active shapers of sustainable and secure energy landscape. Its influence derives from a unique combination: vast natural resources, industrial capabilities, and the adaptability to seize opportunities amid global uncertainty. The scale of the global energy transformation is clearly reflected in IRENA's recently published Renewable Capacity Statistic 2025 report. By the end of 2024, global renewable power capacity has surpassed 4,443 gigawatts, with a record-breaking of 582 gigawatts added in just 1 year. Remarkably, renewables accounted for nearly 91% of new capacity addition, underscoring that the transition to clean energy is not only accelerating, but increasingly irreversible. And if you look to the preliminary data coming from China until August 2025, and if the share of new installed capacity between China and the world remain the same, it means that in 2025 we are going to install 750 gigawatts of renewable energy. That means more than double of all new capacity installed in 70 years. At the same time, our cost analysis show that solar and wind are consistently cheaper than fossil fuel alternatives, making renewables not only the climate choice, but also the market choice. So, dear friends, excellencies, this is precisely where middle power play a vital role. Middle power can drive regional cooperation, ensuring that interconnection and corridors support stability and prosperity, lead in green industrialization, harnessing renewable energy for new industries, supply chains, and jobs, and strengthen energy security by diversifying supply and reducing exposure to fossil fuel volatility. Kazakhstan is a case in point. Bridging East and West, the country is uniquely placed to shape the new order. By investing in infrastructure, fostering innovation, and mobilize finance, Kazakhstan can not only diversify its own energy mix, but also contribute to wider regional and global energy security. The same holds true for Central Asia as a whole. The region can position itself as a hub of clean energy, powering growth locally while supplying green power to neighbors. In this context, at COP29 in Baku, together with the Azerbaijan government, ARENA has been proud to support regional cooperation efforts, most notably through the Accelerated Partnership for Renewable in Central Asia, Africa, this is called Africa. Africa serves as a prime example of how middle power can collaborate to advance their clean energy ambitions. It is a future where advanced technical framework and planning tools attract investment in gigawatts of new solar and wind. And it is a future where smart, interconnected infrastructure give rise to new green industries, from sustainable transport to green data center, ensuring shared prosperity and energy security for all. Africa is therefore designed to provide a dedicated framework for regional cooperation, to mobilize investments, and to accelerate the deployment of renewable energy across Central Asia. Through Africa, Central Asia countries are not only aligned with global climate goals, but also positioning themselves to unlock wider socioeconomic benefits. From modernizing energy infrastructure and creating green industry to fostering innovation, attract finance, and generating new jobs. So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Kazakhstan Energy Week 2025 comes at a truly pivotal moment. It underscored the reality of the emerging energy order that will not shape it by a handful of actors alone, but by a collective vision and choice of many. In this context, middle power, such as Kazakhstan and its Central Asian neighbor, will play a decisive role in determining whether this order becomes sustainable, secure, and inclusive. Let's assess the momentum. Together, we must ensure that the new energy order delivers not only on the urgency of climate action, but also on the promise of economic opportunity, regional stability, and long-term resilience. Grazie molte. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director General. And I know that the leadership here in Kazakhstan will appreciate your recognition of Kazakhstan's role as a middle power and as a leader in the energy transition. Thank you very much. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to invite up on stage the Secretary General of the International Energy Forum, Jassim El-Sharawi. Please.
Distinguished Prime Minister Bakhtinov, Minister Akinjanov, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good morning to you all. It's a great honor to join you in Astana, and I thank the government and the people of Kazakhstan for your warm hospitality. This session on the new energy order, with focus on middle powers, could not be more timely. Since independence, Kazakhstan has emerged as a cornerstone of global energy security. Your vast resources and diversified export routes, from the Caspian Pipeline Consortium to the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan system, have strengthened stability across Eurasia and beyond. In 2023, you became the Caspian region's second largest producer, underlining your resilience and global relevance. Yet, Kazakhstan contributes much more than resources. Your role as a bridge between East and West, North and South, demonstrates the value of diplomacy in turbulent times. By facilitating flows across regions and mediating between diverse interests, you have become an architect of stability, consensus, and innovation. That same spirit is visible in your approach to transition. Investment in renewables, green hydrogen, and regional interconnection show how pragmatic policies can sustain national progress while also advancing climate goals. This balanced strategy offers a model of orderly, just, and secure transitions that other middle powers can look to with confidence. It is in precisely this spirit that I warmly invite Kazakhstan to become a full member of the International Energy Forum. Membership would amplify your influence on global policy, give direct access to trilateral dialogue between OPEC and the IEA, and open new avenues for technology, cooperation, and investment. In joining, Kazakhstan would not only help shape the rules of tomorrow's energy markets, but also strengthen the region's voice on the global level. Transparency is another area where Kazakhstan can make lasting contribution. Participation in the Joint Organization Data Initiative, JODI, which the IEF coordinates with other international bodies and organizations like OPEC, IEA, the United Nations, and others in Asia, Europe, and the Americas. So JODI would reinforce your reputation as a reliable supplier, enhance investor confidence, and reduce uncertainty for planners across global markets. In today's volatile landscape, trusted data is as important as trusted molecules. Taken together, these contributions underline a simple truth. Middle powers are indispensable to stability of tomorrow's energy system. Their engagement ensures supply chain remains flexible, policies stay aligned, and affordability is protected even as sustainability goals advance. Kazakhstan leadership in energy, diplomacy, and innovation means you are more than an exporter. You are a global partner in building trust and managing change. Your voice is needed now more than ever. The IEF looks forward to welcoming Kazakhstan to our ministerial family and deepening cooperation with all Caspian and Central Asian states committed to energy security, transparency, and inclusive transitions. Thank you for your attention. Spasiba.
Thank you very much for your remarks, Director General. Thank you very much. And now for our final speaker, allow me to invite up onto stage the Deputy Secretary General of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Ahmad Saeed Morad Zoda, please. Thank you, sir.
Dear Abayevich, dear participants of the plenary meeting, at the outset, on behalf of the Secretary General of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, I would like to express gratitude to the government of Kazakhstan for inviting the SCO to take part in the events of Kazakhstan Energy Week, as well as to congratulate our Kazakh friends for holding this important international event at high level. Dear participants, the theme of the event reflects the nature of the changes taking place in the global energy sector. It's obvious that traditional models are increasingly unable to provide stability, and new sources and technologies are forming the contours of future development. In the context of instability in international energy markets, It is necessary to strengthen cooperation in the field of energy security and protection of energy infrastructure. It is also important to promote investment cooperation and enable a just energy transition. Today, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization as a region unites 27 countries, 10 member states, 2 observers, and 15 dialogue partners. In less than a quarter of the century, our organization has expanded 4.5 times, encompassing 25% of the global landmass. The economies of the member states of SCO account for about 24% of the world gross domestic product, with an average growth rate of around 5.5% annually. And the total trade turnover among our member states in 2024, according to the estimates of the SCO Secretariat, amounted to just under $1 trillion USD. Dear participants, in the Tianjin Declaration of the Council of Heads of States of the SCO member states, adopted a little over a month ago, in September 1st, in the city of Tianjin, our leaders stressed the importance of expanding inclusive and mutually beneficial cooperation in the field of energy, progressively improving the sustainability of energy production and supply chain, and the need to promote the sustainable, stable, and balanced development of non-discriminatory global energy market. Within the framework of SCO, a solid legal framework has been created in the energy sector. At the initiative of the Republic of Tajikistan, the Minister Daler Juma is here. He chaired the new mechanism of interaction and created it in 2021 in Tajikistan. It's a meeting of the energy ministers of the SCO member state. And this platform has become an important for discussing the current state and prospect for sustainable energy development. During the Astana summit last year, on July 4, the heads of states approved the strategy for the development of energy cooperation among the SCO member states until 2030. It was the initiative of the Republic of Kazakhstan, as mentioned by the Minister of Energy today. This document gave a new impetus to cooperation in the energy sector, identified key areas of cooperation in the oil and gas industry, electric power, renewable sources, and nuclear energy. Our organization with this document has received a long-term guideline that allows us to strengthen regional energy security and realize the potential of new energy. For the consistent implementation of the goals and objectives of this document, the recent Tianjin SCO Summit approved a roadmap for implementation of this energy strategy, again by the initiative of Kazakhstan. Another example of the SCO's commitment to strengthening cooperation in the field of energy is the adoption of the statement of the heads of state on development of sustainable energy following the Tianjin Summit. Dear friends, of course, the transition of renewable energy resources plays a key role in the formation of the new energy order. SCO's efforts in this area are aimed at developing innovative technologies, promoting green energy development, and increasing the volume of renewable energy sources. In order to stimulate the clean energy market and contribute to global effort to achieve carbon neutrality, the SCO advocates the formation of a clean, low-carbon, safe, and efficient energy system, as well as the diversification of energy sources At the promising area within the framework of our cooperation, measures are being discussed for the coordinated development of wind energy, solar energy, hydropower, nuclear, biofuels, hydrogen energy, and energy storage technologies. Dear friends, in the current context, the most important task for the SCO member states is to transition to sustainable energy sources, to strengthen energy security, and to promote the stability of international energy markets. We hope that within the framework of this Kazakhstan Energy Week, possible measures to overcome challenges in this area will be discussed in detail, as well as new opportunities for sustainable energy development in the region will be identified. And of course, we are confident that this event will be a serious step on the way to regional climate summit, which is planned for the next year in Kazakhstan. And I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Deputy Secretary General. That's very appreciated. You may have noticed that the Prime Minister and the Secretary General of OPEC had to leave. On behalf of the Prime Minister, allow me to apologize for that. They have gone to a meeting with the President, and for all my influence and powers as a moderator, I still don't control the President's schedule. So, the Prime Minister's apologies for his need to leave for that meeting with the President. It is now my honor to introduce our final speaker, Mahmoud Fat Allah, Director of the Department of Environment, Meteorological Affairs from the League of Arab States. Please, Your Honor.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to address you today on behalf of the League of Arab States at this important international forum. Geopolitical and technological development have proven that medium power will their natural resources, accumulated expertise, and industrial capabilities play a major role in changing a more balanced and secure energy future. The discussion on the future of the energy is inevitably linked to the issue of climate change, which represents the greatest challenge facing the world and our Arab region. Although our region is among the leading producers of the conventional energy, it remains one of the most vulnerable areas to the impact of climate change, such as rising temperatures and water scarcity. For this reason, expanding clean energy projects and investing in low-emission technologies has become a strategic choice to balance the demand of development with the need to protect our environment for the future generations. The Arab states have made tangible progress in this area, achieving growing success in intergenerating renewable energy resources such as solar and wind into their energy mix, and launching pioneering initiatives to reduce emission and expanding investment in green hydrogen technology. This direction reflects a clear political will to diversify energy sources, just transition, enhance energy security, and actively contribute to international effort to combat climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, beyond the environmental dimension, we in the Arab region recognize the importance of the interconnection between energy, water, and food as a cornerstone of human security and sustainable development. Changes in the energy sector have a direct impact on water resources management and the food production and vice versa. In this context, the League of Arab States is working to enhance regional cooperation through joint programs and initiatives focused on efficient use of water and energy in agriculture and supporting the use of renewable energy in food production. The effort contributes to achieving water and food security and reinforce sustainable development in the region. Our region is no longer just a major supplier of oil and gas, ensuring the stability of international markets. It has also become an active partner in building a sustainable energy future. This qualifies to act as a bridge between the present and the future of the global energy industry. Building this new energy system requires a collective vision based on international cooperation, investment in infrastructure, and knowledge exchange. This will help achieve a balance between economic growth and environmental sustainability. For this standpoint, the League of Arab States affirms the importance of collective action in the energy sector, and it's committed to being a key partner in any international effort that enhances global energy stability, tackles climate changes, and upholds principles of equity and access to energy resources. Ladies and gentlemen, investing in energy is no longer an additional burden, but rather an investment in sustainable development, security, and global stability. We hope this forum will serve as a milestone for international consensus where ambition turns into commitment and commitment into achievement. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And that concludes the plenary session. But before we go, please join me in providing a nice round of warm applause for our host today, KazEnergy, and namely the Director General, Jandost Nurmagomedov, and also, of course, the Chairman, Bolat Akcholakov. Thank you very much. I wish you a very productive day today at the forum. Thank you.